Vikings, let's win the game.
Hey Vikings fans, gear up for a heart-pounding update. Today we're diving into a mix of sorrow and triumph that will make any true fan believe in the impossible. From soul-stirring reactions to the loss of Vikings legend Jim Marshall, to a deep dive into who might be our next star following in the footsteps of past heroes, we've got it all covered. Discover why our team is being dubbed the Team of Destiny and get the lowdown on some bold moves in the market. The Vikings don't have a lot of realistic trade options this summer, but one starter fits the bill and is marked for a trade. Who's on the chopping block? Welcome. Show your Viking support by reaching 100 thumbs up on today's video. On a day filled with nostalgia and tributes, the Minnesota Vikings community and football fans experienced a poignant moment. The death of Jim Marshall, a true titan of the field, left an unmatched legacy. Brett Favre, known for his strength and dedication, didn't hold back his emotions when discussing Marshall's lasting influence on the sport and his life. You have no idea what it was like to meet Jim Marshall in person, one of the true legends, one of the NFL's original Iron Men, Favre revealed in a moment of pure admiration and respect. Standing next to someone who faced 282 consecutive games, never letting the brutality of the battle faze him, taught me the meaning of resilience. Growing up watching guys like Jim, I learned what it meant to show up every Sunday, no matter what. Having had the chance to shake his hand and even play in front of him was a true honor. Favre, whose final 2 years of his career were adorned by the Vikings' purple and gold, reiterated his grief and admiration. Marshall was an inspiration, not just to me, but to many who came after him. His legacy is not just measured by the stats, which include 130.5 unofficial sacks and 29 fumble recoveries, but by the relentless spirit he instilled in our team. Guys like Jim paved the way. They didn't ask for attention, they earned respect with every snap. I tried to bring that same mindset to the field every week. My condolences to him and his family, but he's certainly a legend among legends. Marshall, who began his career with the Cleveland Browns, quickly became a pillar for the Vikings, where he played 19 of his 20 seasons, significantly contributing to the formation and success of the Purple People Eaters' defense. The franchise reached the Super Bowl 4 times during his era, though the coveted Lombardi Trophy has never been won. The pain of the loss was felt throughout the city of Minneapolis, where Marshall was not just a player, but a local hero. Jim wasn't just a player to us. He instilled hope and strength that resonated beyond the fields, commented a veteran fan, reflecting the general sentiment of the fandom. Beyond his exploits on the field, Marshall was known for the iconic and humorous wrong way run of 1964, a moment that, despite being a mistake, became a beloved anecdote about his career, illustrating his ability to face adversity with positivity. In the end, it didn't matter. Minnesota won by 27-22, with Marshall forcing a fumble that resulted in a touchdown that San Francisco couldn't overcome. He was a special player, said Vikings Hall of Fame coach Bud Grant at the team facilities years before his death in 2023. People often ask, who are the best players? As a coach, you can't say who is the best, but there is one category you have, and that's a special. Jim Marshall was a special. Reflecting on the teachings and impacts of Marshall, his passing will not only be remembered with sorrow, but celebrated as a legitimate tribute to a legend among legends, whose stories will continue to inspire future generations. The shadow of Jim Marshall is long and covers the field of the Minnesota Vikings with a rich and challenging history. With his departure, an inevitable question arises. Who will be the next to carry on the legacy of one of the greatest defenders in franchise history? Marshall, known for his record of 270 consecutive games, symbolized not just durability, but also field excellence that helped lead the Vikings to glory days in past decades. The search for someone who can replicate his impact is more than just about field skills. It's about embodying a character that transcends the game. Current stars like Justin Jefferson and the promising J.J. McCarthy are seen as future leaders, but the real question is whether they can mirror Marshall's tenacity and resilience. Jim was more than a player. He was the heart of our team. We need someone who not only plays, but also inspires, shares one of the Vikings coaches. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach, is often compared to Bud Grant, another Vikings legend. Under his leadership, there is renewed hope that the Vikings can reach new heights. We are building a team that honors the past while looking to the future, and Marshall will always be a standard by which we measure our greatness, states O'Connell. Besides remembrance and respect, it's expected that Marshall will be significantly honored this season. The team is considering various forms of tribute, including special details on uniforms that evoke his memory and legacy. Every time we step onto the field, Jim will be with us, inspiring every play, reveals one of the Vikings' equipment designers. While the next hero of Minnesota remains a mystery, the fandom and team know Marshall's spirit continues to guide the franchise. Whoever steps onto the field with Marshall's grit will have big shoes to fill and an eternal legacy to honor. But hold on, as the next update now involves an even more thrilling situation. This week, an unusual title was bestowed upon the Minnesota Vikings by a recognized NFL analyst. They were called the Team of Destiny. As the new season approaches, this label has brought a wave of optimism and speculation among fans and the sports media. During a daily program, substituting for Colin Cowherd, Jason McIntyre expressed unwavering confidence in the Vikings, proclaiming that they would reach the NFC Championship this year. "I'm putting all my chips on J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. This team has something special this year," McIntyre stated confidently. What led to this bold assertion was the combination of emerging leadership and brilliant defensive talent. McCarthy, though young and relatively inexperienced, has already demonstrated leadership qualities that have impressed teammates and opponents alike. Additionally, the Vikings' defense, ranked as the second best in the league, promises to be a crucial asset for this year's campaign. The last time the Vikings were considered candidates for such prominence was over a decade ago, when Brett Favre led the team to the NFC Championship in 2009. Since then, the team has had its ups and downs, but hope has been rekindled with recent developments and strategic acquisitions. Analysts and fans are cautiously optimistic, aware of the challenges the season's schedule presents, but excited about the team's potential to overcome them. If JJ can replicate or come close to Darnold's performance last year, combined with our solid defense, we have every reason to believe we can go far, commented a local sports analyst. The Pro Football Network ranked Minnesota as the 13th best team in its power rankings last month and explained, "With uncertainty around this year's squad, the schedule release shed light on where and when the Vikings might have their rough patches. Thus, they are projected to make the playoffs with just 34% of simulations, the 18th percentage of the league ranking. Some answers need to be found early in the season. However, the Minnesota Vikings seem well equipped to support J.J. McCarthy. With mandatory minicamp approaching and the integration of new talents, the Vikings' preparation is under intense scrutiny. However, the enthusiasm surrounding the team has never been more palpable. We are ready to face this season and prove that the Team of Destiny label is deserved," concluded defensive coordinator Brian Flores. The next news comes full of crucial decisions that can change the game for the Vikings. As the Minnesota Vikings training camp approaches, discussions are heated about which strategic moves the team should make to shape a competitive roster for the 2025 season. One name in particular is in the spotlight: Blake Brandel, the offensive lineman who, according to reports, may be on the trade list this summer. According to Bleacher Report, Brandel is viewed as the primary trade candidate for the Vikings. Despite starting all 17 games last season, his performance was considered below expectations. With the arrival of Donovan Jackson, the first-round draft pick, and the return of Will Freeze from an injury, the Vikings' offensive line seems to be reconfiguring. With these new additions, it looks like Brandel's days as a starter are numbered, commented Gary Davenport from Bleacher Report. His experience as a guard and tackle has value, especially if other teams face injuries during training camp. The speculation around Brandel's trade value is intense. Analysts suggest the Vikings could obtain a 6th or 7th round draft pick in exchange for him. However, this raises an important question. Does the value of the depth Brandel offers outweigh losing him for such a late draft pick? The consistency and versatility he provides are valuable, especially as we seek to solidify our offensive line, said a Vikings executive. but we have to be strategic about our salary cap and market opportunities. While the team weighs this decision, the community and Vikings fans are closely watching, aware that each move will significantly impact the team's championship aspirations. These updates are a sea of emotions and expectations, from the lingering sadness left by Jim Marshall to the search for new heroes following in his wake, to the audacious label of Team of Destiny and the market strategies that will shape the near future. Each piece of news today leads fans to reflect on what it means to be a Viking. Resilience, hope, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. What will be the next chapter in this epic journey? Your passion, energy, and loyalty are the heartbeat of Vikings Nation. So let's keep that energy going. Share this video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned. SKOL Vikings, let's go!